Good afternoon, Hattiesburg. Thanks for joining us for this COVID-19 and City News Briefing for Friday, February 26th. We will start with today's numbers. These are hospitalizations between Merit Health Wesley and Forest General. As of this morning, there were 51 people who were positive for COVID in our community. That's between both hospitals, and of those 51, 14 were in the ICU. We continue to see a downward trajectory with hospitalizations, and we're now kind of in that low to mid 50s range, which is a promising sign for us. ICU admissions again in the teens as well. Statewide today, there were 731 new cases reported with 25 new deaths. Unfortunately, on Wednesday, a new death was reported in Forest County and one new death was reported in Lamar County. We send our thoughts and condolences to those families, which brings totals to date 136 COVID deaths in Forest County and 80 in Lamar. New positive cases for today, Forest County had 19, Lamar County had 14. And since this began almost a year ago, 7,159 total infections in Forest County, 5,858 in Lamar County. Our 5-day average, Forest County, as you'll kind of see this in the inside 14-day number 2, Forest County has had kind of a mixed bag in terms of new positive cases. They may have in the teens one day and then 30-something the next day. Lamar County, however, has seen a steady decline in their number of new cases, and so you see the 5-day average now in the teens, which is a great sign there, and we hope Forest County can follow that trend as well. And inside 14-day, this is the number of people who have received their positive test result in the last 2 weeks. Forest County is at 361, and Lamar County is at 275. Again, this is the potential active cases you could have in your community. And so kind of two different trends going on here. Lamar County continues to drop. Forest County's kind of been up and down all week. Trying to look and see kind of where those numbers are coming from and kind of what's the reasoning for that. But we'll continue monitoring that throughout the weekend and the next week. Compared to last Friday, Forest County's gone up by 15 in terms of the inside 14-day number. Lamar County's gone down by almost 75. Hospitalizations, again, continuing to see a decline there, which is a good sign for us, down by 7 from a week ago. ICU up 2 at 14. Our goals continue to be protecting the vulnerable, preventing overrun of the healthcare system by slowing the spread, and prioritizing public health while giving the private sector the space to operate creatively. Our weekly conference call was held a couple of days ago, and just a couple of notes from numbers that are impactful. Positivity rate is the percentage of total tests that have come back positive. Last week, we got down to 9.6%. This week, while the total number of tests has gone down, we're still having, of course, some positives that are coming back. So 12.3%, still not nearly where we were earlier in the year, but still something we want to keep an eye on. One positive thing for us, though, is there were only 18 patients in the whole Hattiesburg Clinic system that were over the age of 70 who tested positive this week. And we haven't had a week where we've had under 20 since November 1st. And so what that says is we're seeing people get immunity to this by getting their vaccine. And so thank you to all of you who over the age of 70 who have gone to get that vaccine. Thank you for all kids and grandkids who have helped prioritize and get these folks scheduled to get a vaccine. Let's continue doing that, because the more that we see this number go down, the less you're going to see hospitalizations, because age is one of the risk factors. And the more we can see hospitalizations go down, the more things can continue to hopefully open back up. Several bits of city news for you today. Paving continued this week, partly in Ward 1, North 37th, Juniper, Azalea, Morningside. That was finished up this week. Also in Ward 1, the Campbell Loop Bridge construction has begun. This was a bridge we had to close last October because found a sinkhole that led to us finding that it was very structurally unsound. And so this is a road that a lot of businesses around that Campbell Loop 49 used to cut through to get to the Highlands neighborhood. And so after 2 rounds of bidding, we do have a contractor who's out working on this now. We hope this bridge is open back by middle of this summer. And finally, yesterday, we announced a $1.4 million TAP grant from the Mississippi Department of Transportation. Gordons Creek Commons will continue the linear park trail that we've been developing along Gordons Creek, again, with the vision that Gordons Creek can be more than just a drainage ditch, that it can be an asset and an amenity. And so this grant will help provide the 8-foot pathway as well as the bridge across the creek on the second level of the parking deck. There will also be a splash pad and most exciting, a food truck park in Gordons Creek Commons. So Special thanks to Commissioner Tom King. The $1.4 million grant was the largest grant given to any community in the Southern District. Finally, our act of courage. One thing we talked about on our conference call this week, and that we've heard from the community, is just how efficient the Hattiesburg Clinic HealthWorks immunization clinic is. We get reports from people like you all the time who say, my vaccination process was like a well-oiled machine, and it was very organized. I didn't have to wait very long. And CEO Dr. Brian Batson wanted us to know that the reason we're able to do that so efficiently is because of the student volunteers that we've had from many of our healthcare programs in our institutions of higher learning. The Southern Miss College of Nursing, the William Carey DO School, the Pharmacy School, the School of Nursing there. All of these students are not only getting valuable experience, but they're also an active part of fighting this pandemic. And so to our students, to our instructors, to our just both these great institutions that we are lucky to have in our community, we say thank you. And as we go into the weekend today, remember to wash your hands, take care of yourself, wear a mask if you go out in public, do only what is essential, and remember, you're safer at home. Have a great weekend.